Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the next session of the Neverending Train. I am Kai, your DM for the day, and player-wise, going from the top, we have... Avi?
Sorry, I just took a bite out of my food.
Fantastic timing there.
Yep. I'm Avi. I waved at the screen even though my camera's not turned on. I play Ami, who is a recurring character on this train.
Alright. That's good.
Yeah.
Boss?
Hello, I'm Bus or Heartless, and I am new, and I'm playing the Fortuneteller.
Welcome to the train. And Samaranth?
Thank you.
I'm Samaranth. I'm playing Acne. She's not new to the train. She's been here before. So far, it's been relatively okay for her. She just had a fun train adventure so far.
Almost did get run over by said train, but it was fine. She was fine.
It was a very small train.
Oh, well, it is a delight to have two of you back, and it is a delight to also meet the fortune teller, because, y'all are a delight. Starting off, seeing as all of you are already on the train, I don't need to dump any of you in the middle of a room. I instead need to go through and just sort of say, as you are actually arriving into whatever new carriage you're about to arrive in. And the door opens, and the three of you step out into a room that is just filled with... You're not quite sure how to describe them. They are 3D animated, but, have any of you ever played Totally Accurate Battle Simulator?
I have not. I need to look this up.
Please do.
I have watched people play that game. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Basically, just imagine a bunch of the dudes from Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and they've got, helmets and shields and a little bit of armor, but, there's no detail there. And you just see, you just see this queue of them kind of standing there, seem to be lining up to go through a doorway over there, and they just kind of go, and making all those various grunting noises of people ready to fight. As you step out of the door, each three of you, there comes along another person who's a little bit more well animated and just goes, come along, in the line, come along, in the line, and just keeps repeating that over and over and shoves the three of you into the queue. What do you guys do? How are you feeling?
Kind of stumbling into this line for some reason. What is going on here? I'm looking all around, and my head doesn't move, just my eyes.
As a response, all the various warriors around you just continue going sort of noises.
Ami kind of looks around, shrugs, stands there.
I'll have you know, Miss really loud person, I'm not a very good fighter.
The man, the man that was kind of going along and shoving you into the queue is just kind of pacing back and forth, and any gladiators that kind of half shuffle out of line get shoved back into the queue, and that was including you guys. And it's always just you, come along, in the queue, come along, and keeps repeating that. Doc, how are you going?
I'm worried. Nice to meet you guys. My name's Doc. Don't know what's going on. Bit concerning. Yeah. This train's weird.
It is very, very weird. I didn't expect my next car to be just like this. My name is Wilson. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's my name.
Oh, you guys are passengers too? Hi, I'm Ami.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Hello there, lovely.
So are we gonna stay in this line? Because it seems like we might be being made to fight something, and I'm not sure it's a good idea. I'm a bit worried about this, if I'm honest.
as you guys are looking around, you hear like a klaxon sounding all around you. Just a couple of seconds of 7, and the microphone, whatever microphone that was going on, cuts off, and you see the queue start shuffling forwards, and it shuffles forward approximately 7 spaces. You guys are still in the middle of the queue. You don't seem to be any closer to like the door at the other end. However, you have just shuffled in front of a massive wall of weapons. There is another guy standing there that looks very similar to the guy that shoved you into the queue in the first place, but they're definitely separate guys because that queue guy's back there still muttering along. The guy standing in front of the weapons goes, "Weapons! Weapons! Anyone that needs them! Any kind! Weapons! Weapons! Anyone that needs them! Any kind!" And it's just saying that on repeat.
Ami retrieves her mace.
Good to know you're already equipped.
Buck makes a cursory glance at the weapons wall just to see if there's anything exciting to her there.
There is basically every kind of weapon imaginable there, both like realistic and toony. So, what are you looking for?
Doc's looking for some like sticks of dynamite or something. She just is.
Less explosive sort of things and more things to hit people with or stab people or slice people, sadly.
Doc looks disappointed and just retrieves her actual weapons that she has.
I just kind of pull out my quarterstaff. Yes, yeah.
I give you a chance to pick any weapon you like and you all just go with your... Oh god. Alright. You guys are stuck standing...
Hang on. Let me see my proficiencies.
Yeah. This is your chance to go naming an absolutely ridiculous weapon and getting it if you want it.
Oh wait, rubber chicken. Look for rubber chicken.
Right, I'm gonna actually roll for this because I'm not quite sure, like, if this would count as a weapon. I want to see how close to a rubber chicken you can get. With a 16, there is a rubber chicken on the wall.
Yes!
It's yellow, and it kind of makes that
so glad.
sound when you squeeze it.
Good sir, please hand me that weapon and point straight to the rubber chicken.
Wait, is there like just a straight up tree branch?
Yeah, if you want one.
Hell yeah!
Alright, the weapons master picks the rubber chicken off the wall and hands it to the Fortuneteller. Ami, do you point at the tree branch?
Yes!
Yep. Grabs the tree branch and hands it to you. There's a couple of other of the gladiators either side of you guys in the queue, and they're kind of like, pointing at a couple of the weapons as well, and the weapons master grabs those down and passes those on. They're pretty average, like spears, axes, maces, stuff like that. But you guys have a rubber chicken and a tree branch.
Nice!
Can I grab like the hour hand of a very large clock as a dagger?
Yes, you can. Well, it's probably something that's more closely to a very ornate dagger, but like it's ornate and styled in a way that it could almost be a giant clock hand. So you know what? It works as both.
What is this? The Adventure Zone?
I mean, maybe, but no. As you guys have just received all your weapons, the klaxon goes off again, and you hear the announcer once more. 4! And the line shuffles forward. This time, you guys are standing right in front of the door, and as you see the the 4 gladiators just in front of you, doors open, they shuffle through, just charging into the arena, going, "Ah!" waving their weapons in the air. You feel a blast of heat that almost feels like it. That Doc, considering your experience with fire, you definitely recognize it as a massive blast of fire. Then the doors slam shut in your face, and you guys are we're just waiting at the front of the queue.
Okay, I say we make a break for it. This seems bad and not good.
Okay. This is probably a good idea to make our exit. I'm going to take the rubber chicken, I'm going to squeeze it as hard as I can, and then throw it towards the Q-Master before dashing the other direction.
Oh my god.
Okay, I want you to roll me dexterity to see how good your aim is.
Okay, hold on, let me scroll all the way back to dexterity.
Oh, this is good. I was completely
While this is happening, can I roll perception to see if there's anywhere else we
That's
can
a
go?
3.
Alright, that was a 3. Your aim was absolutely atrocious. And you actually smacked the chicken in the face of the gladiator in line just behind you guys. If you want to roll perception, go ahead. And then we'll get to how terribly your escape goes. Question, are the other two following you?
Absolutely.
Never
I rolled
mind.
an 18!
Never mind. Ami got an 8.
Alright, so Army's not going too well. Fortuneteller did actually get a dirty 20 though. A quick note for when you're rolling the dice, boss, don't put the spaces in. It's like, because otherwise it messes up. But yeah, you got a dirty 20 there, which means you can see everything, and you can see like this line kind of keeps stretching back a while, but at the very far part of the line there seems to be a strange little contraption where a slumped over body of a gladiator is sitting, and as like the chicken collides with the face of the gladiator that you threw it at, you can see like this little wispy ghost type thing come over, flop into the like land itself into the body of the slumped over gladiator. The gladiator perks up, goes "Hurr!" and steps forward, and you see the machine kind of going shug, 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 and seems to be creating a new body. All of this happens in the space of like 2 seconds before the gladiator you threw the chicken at takes a swing at you because he thinks that now he's been attacked, you're in combat. So let me just quickly make him roll to attack to see if he actually hits you.
This is a good start.
Causing chaos in the queue here. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay, you're about to get whacked with a mace, so that's 1d6 plus 2. 6 plus 2. Please take 4 damage. I'm not going to make you go directly into initiative because this is legit just going to cause utter chaos here. Alright, now, that was Doc and Ami. What were your rolls doing? What were you guys trying to do?
That was just perception.
Perception.
Okay. You don't really... Neither of you really see anything but the queue. You just see it kind of goes back a fair way. Now, Fortuneteller, this is your chance to escape. Do just fucking leg it.
I immediately start booking it. Run!
I follow after him.
Amazing.
Yeah, if everyone's running, I'm running.
Okay, where are you guys running to?
No idea.
I saw that contraption, so I'm going to try to run around the line and get to that contraption.
Okay. Roll me athletics to see how fast you guys run. No, you cannot swap this one out for acrobatics unless you're doing flips and cartwheels on your way. That's a 5 for the fortune.
I almost mistook Arcana for athletics, and I thought, wait, I have a -1 in athletics? What?
Oh, okay, so that's that's amazing. Alright, so that is a 5 from the Fortuneteller, a 16 from Doc, and a 17 from Army. With that, I'm gonna say, Fortuneteller, you are not used to running. You get like a couple of dozen feet, and then you kind of have to stop, like raise up one hand and go as you're trying to catch your breath. Doc and Army, you've got this. Question, do you want to just kind of hook your arms underneath the fortune tellers and carry him along with you?
I pick up the fortune teller with one of my wings.
Thank you.
Andy.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Thank you.
For clarification of any listeners that don't get it, Army's wings are basically just giant hands. It's terrible pun.
They're not good for flying. They might as well be good for grabbing.
That is true. That is very true. All right. So now that it's actually Doc and Army that is steering, however, you guys have no idea where to go. Where are you going?
Hey, where are we going?
That way. I point towards the contraption.
Oh,
Go
okay.
there.
All right.
Okay.
Good enough. You guys race down the line here, like going past plenty of the gladiators as you go. You duck past the stay in line, just stay in line of the queue master as he's going past. No one seems to really be caring about you guys, other than maybe the queue master very quickly trying to usher you back in and then moving past because you guys are moving too fast for him. As you dash down, it's a bit like it's kind of like the end of your sprinting distance. You're a little bit out of breath when you get there, but you finally reach the end of the queue and you see where like another slumped over gladiator body that's kind of just hanging there waiting for something to come and inhabit it. But that's it. You've gone past the place where people got armor, you went past the place where people got shields, and you've gotten to the end of the room.
Huh. Can I take a look at this giant contraption and see if I can, not giant, but just contraption and see if I can figure it out at all?
Absolutely.
Can I roll 2 tools?
Yeah, I'll let you roll that. That's probably, considering that you're an artificer, yeah, that's pretty fair enough roll. And that's a 24. You figure out exactly what this thing is. And this thing is
God damn.
Doc, this device is a fabricator. It specifically creates just like these 3D pretty blank bodies that seem to be the absolute base for the gladiators, but it cannot actually create any sort of life. As you kind of see, like, okay, it fabricates these tunes from like the ground up, and then it just holds it there and waits. And again, as you are watching, now this is a chance for Army and Doc to actually see it, a little ghosty type thing floats in from a high up window just above where the contraption is, floats down, slips into the body, and as it does, the body kind of perks upright, goes, "Hur!" and steps forward and gets into the queue. And then as soon as that happens, the fabricator starts once again building up another body.
Wow, this is certainly weird.
Spooky. Hey, does anybody know what we're supposed to do here yet? I kind of feel like we were supposed to go through the entire line now, but I'm just kind of lost.
Then we'd have to wait in the queue all over again, and it'd be really boring.
I didn't want to go into battle. I don't know about you, but my body isn't really up to battle.
I think we could try and climb through that weird window up there where the like animation ghost things are coming through.
There's a window? Oh yes, there is. Huh.
I don't know if it's big enough.
It is decent size. I'm not going to say you guys can get through it easily, but all three of you could probably squeeze through. The one that would have the most trouble would be Army, considering your wings.
They are big. Are we?
What was that noise?
That was my roommate's kid.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, maybe we should try. I start waving my hands out there because I'm still being carried.
Oh, I set him back down. Sorry.
No problem. Lovely.
I ship it.
So I stroll over to the window and try to
It is
climb
above,
up towards.
yeah, it's above head height, so, and like the floors are pretty smooth. Do any of you have any way of actually getting up there?
Black Acne casts spider climb on herself.
Yeah, that works. You can just go up the walls, you can get up, no problem. I won't need to make you roll anything there. You just walk up the walls.
Wow! You can just do that? I try to walk up the walls.
No, it was a thing I made my gloves into.
I love this picture of the fortune teller going, wow, you can do that. Getting like one foot up on the wall, second foot, and like as he lifts like his foot up again to take another step, flop right down back onto his back.
I was thinking I could try and like lower a rope from here, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you could if you want.
I'll try that.
Quick, how much weight does spider climb work with? Like, what sort of
Let me
weight?
look up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, wondering what sort of weight limits, because I'm wondering if, like, if you are stuck there, that's fair enough. If you are trying to lift other people up as well.
I meant to get into the window and like brace myself on that and pull them up from there, kind of.
Yeah, that works. All right, you get up to the window. There's no glass or anything in it. It's basically just an opening, and you get through, and you can see out onto an arena, and you can kind of hear some cries of battle. But unless you kind of actually take a proper look, you're not going to see anything more than that.
I'll lower it on the rope first.
Alrighty. You guys, so, Army and Fortuneteller, you guys have a rope there now that you can just climb up if you like.
Oh,
I
that'd
would start-
probably work a lot better.
Roll me athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Both of us?
Yep. I mean, if you've got to climb a rope, you've got to show me that you guys can climb a rope. That is a 15 for Marmy. You get up the rope, easy peasy. Probably have your wings helping you climb up as you go. And that is a 6 from the fortune teller. You get like 3 feet off the ground, and you're doing that sort of thing where you're clinging to it and go, and like you're a couple of feet off the ground and you're not getting any further, and like every time you go to lift yourself up, you're sliding down just that little bit more and slide down, and you're not getting anywhere, mate.
Is Fortuneteller anywhere where like I can like reach down and grab him?
Yeah, sure. I would say, are you all the way up by the window?
Yeah.
Not easily. It would be the sort of thing where Doc would probably have to grab onto your ankles, and then you'd have to lean down and grab onto the fortune teller's hands.
I'm not
Hey!
strong.
Doc, I got an idea.
Okay, cool. What is it?
I just need you to hold on to my legs.
Okay, I am not particularly strong. I will try.
Okay. First up, I'm gonna need a strength check from Doc.
Okay.
And this is
This
not
is
the
going to be fine. It's
Yeah.
going to be fine.
Okay, a 12 is just enough. Like you've got a hold on you've got a hold on Army, but like it's only just enough. You can feel your feet slipping a little bit, but you've gotta. So Army, you can now reach down and grab onto the fortune teller if you so choose.
Okay. I grab him.
Alright, I'm now going to need a strength check from everybody, because Fortuneteller, you need to use strength to grip onto Army. Army, you need to use strength to grip onto the Fortuneteller. And Doc, you need to roll a really high strength check there to make sure you don't drop both of them. Oh dear, that's a
Oh, the
critical
natural
fail.
one.
Yeah, that's a crit fail from Doc. Okay, Army, you actually managed to roll. Army, you managed to roll just well enough to counteract the fact that the Fortuneteller did not have a very good grip, and go like, yeah, got him! The moment you try and pick him up, though, Doc's hands just fail. I'm guessing, I was going to say, actually, the spider climb that you've got just fails, and all three of you go tumbling back onto the floor inside.
This is fine.
Yeah, these are prototype. They do that sometimes, so not my own physical body giving out.
Like, Doc, I will say, the spider climb spell is still active. I'm not gonna go taking that away. It's just, you can't carry all three of you.
I'm gonna climb back up again. Oh, wait. I'm gonna climb back up again.
Fair enough.
The itsy bitsy dog went up the water.
Please tell me you're singing that to yourself as you go.
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Okay, the other two.
I've got another bad idea.
Oh dear.
Ooh, an idea? Let me hear it.
What if I take a dog and I lift him up enough so he can get a head start on the rope?
Yeah, that works, seeing as you're actually capable of rolling strength, so roll me strength. See how far you can lift him. God. That's a 6.
Well,
Obviously you sprained something in that fall from before because your hand is very sore.
ow. It's fine.
Thus continues the saga of everyone trying to get through the window.
Dice parser bad. Can we please get sidekick bot?
Just it was rolling perfectly well for you before, it just doesn't like you now.
That's how you know it's good random.
I can think of a couple of other things that you could potentially do here, but also I don't want to tell you, I want to see what nonsense stuff you guys come up with.
Let me look at my spells.
Ami, what if you picked me up and you threw me into the window?
Okay.
You're gonna have to roll a really high strength. You're gonna have to roll high strength in order to get far enough up to the window, and then dex to see how well you aim. That's a crit fail.
No.
Trying to lift this guy up so many times, you have obviously it just doesn't want to work. You lift him up, and it's your legs give out and just splat back onto the ground with both of you.
Face plant.
Doc, you are watching all of this.
Ooh.
I was almost certain that would work.
I don't have anything that can really help right now. Sorry.
I don't suppose anyone's got any other spells that might be helpful here.
I mean, I could cast Enlarge on Ami, but then she wouldn't be able to get through the window.
But it would get you through the window, and you're the one that's having the most trouble.
That is true. Okay.
I also
I'm
remind
going
you. I also will remind you guys. You are allowed to use your environment and things in the environment.
Wait, is there like a cage we could try to climb up on?
God.
No, but again,
Grab one of those weird gladiators. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, again, if you guys have watched Tabs, you can probably imagine the sort of chaos that happens.
Grab one of those weird gladiator guys, stand on their shoulders, and get in that way.
Wait, is there like a catapult somewhere?
One sec. I'm just gonna roll, and I'm gonna call this basically your luck roll to see how lucky you are in terms of weapons. That was a 10. Sadly, there are no catapults big enough. However, there is kind of like a mini catapult that might be useful for like throwing small rocks at whatever is in the arena.
I T-pose and flip through the window.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that small catapult.
Okay. I don't. What do I get you to roll there? Does that count as acrobatics?
Joking.
No, roll me acrobatics. I want to see if this works.
I will laugh so hard if it works.
You're gonna have to roll really high for this. Okay. That's a 10. That is sadly not high enough. But what happens is you kind of like, all right, got a new idea. You T-pose, one of your wings kind of goes out backwards and whaps into one of the gladiators. The gladiator kind of pings off to the side, bounces off the other wall, bounces back into you, and you kind of splat into the wall, and everything's just jiggle physics for a moment. You are not damaged, but it has given you an idea of the amount of ragdolling that goes on here.
Okay, this would probably hurt you very much, but if I threw an explosive at the exact right angle, you think I could hit you?
If the other two allow it.
Do you think I could have you thrown it up into the air and through the window?
I'm gonna run away from that and get the really small catapult. I've got an idea.
It probably wouldn't kill you.
Army, do you flee from the explosive as it falls towards you?
I haven't thrown it yet. I have not thrown it yet.
So hard I can't.
I was just suggesting I wouldn't do that without your guys' agreement.
Oh shoot, I do have a shield.
What's going on here? Who's doing what?
Okay,
Are we doing the explosive thing, or are we doing
I don't think
something
that's
else?
a good idea. I have an idea though, since I'm the one having trouble getting through. I'm gonna push the really small catapult towards the window, and then I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to cast Reduce on myself.
That works. Okay, what would I'm just gonna roll a d20 and see how good your aim is here. And again, this is gonna be more of a luck roll than anything else. Let's go see. With that's a 19, you go soaring through the window. Do you have anything to slow your fall?
No.
Doc, do you want to try and catch him as he flies through the window?
I will say, Doc did not back up at all. So yes, Doc will try and catch you.
Okay, roll me dex to see if you manage to catch.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I don't know, it's something I get.
This teeny little man with a crystal ball full of smoke just coming flying at Doc's face. That's an 11. That is enough that you do manage to catch him. However, your foot does slip and you are going to fall out. You're going to fall off the wall, basically.
Can I pivot and make sure? Can I pivot and push the Fortuneteller into the window, because then I can just climb back up?
Yeah, sure thing. So, Fortuneteller, you are now kind of, with how small you are sitting on the window ledge. Doc, you have managed to kind of stumble a little bit, but you've caught yourself and you are now waiting. Army, what's your idea?
I mean, I don't have to help Fortuneteller get back up again, but I guess I'm gonna try climbing again. Sorry, I just realized I switched off push to talk.
It's okay. All right. I'm guessing the rope's still there. So yeah, sure. Roll me athletics or acrobatics to get up the rope. That's a 7.
Why?
No, obviously your leg's still too sore from when you collapsed on it earlier. You can't get up that way.
I'm still a little bit jiggle physics.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to spend half an hour climbing through a window, but you know what? This is fun.
Give me a second, guys.
This is D&D.
Hang on, out of curiosity, I want to see what I would have gotten if I rolled strength. Are you kidding me?
No, you cannot use that roll. That's your... That's... For the listeners, that is a 21 if she'd gone for athletics rather than acrobatics. However, that is not what you chose to do.
+5 in acro and...
Oh jeez. At least you didn't get another crit fail, because by that point I would have to start injuring you as punishment for these rolls.
Hang on, let me... Looking at my spells here.
Oh, so we're making her those like
God damn it, hang on.
It's okay. Fortuneteller and Doc, are you chatting while you're just standing up on top of the window there?
Oh, what are your previous carriages been like? Like, what do you seen?
I think there was one with lots of pigeons in it. I had no idea why there were so many pigeons. They were just everywhere.
Oh, I'm gonna get you
It's
for that.
like
really
messenger?
great.
I'm gonna get you for that. You won't
Was it
know
like
when.
messenger pigeons, or?
No, actually, I suppose there might have been some messenger pigeons. I don't know.
Huh, interesting. Cool. Like, were they angry? Were they very large pigeons, or?
Now, come to
Okay.
think of it, it was very long ago, so I don't remember.
Sorry.
I have an idea. But the issue is... I have an idea, but the issue is, would Ami be smart enough for this?
Okay. Well,
You know what? Screw it.
Do it. Just do it. Also, boss, you won't know when, but I'm gonna get you for those pigeons. It will be out of nowhere. You will forget that it was coming, but I will come for you. God. Okay, Amy, what are you doing? Ami, what are you doing?
I am going to cast Enhance Ability on myself
Mm-hmm.
and give myself advantage on strength checks.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
And then I'm going to try climbing again.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. That's a 17. And a 21. Okay, with that 21, which was an earned 21, you get up the rope easy and you have no idea why it was so difficult before. And at this point, all three of you are now sitting like on the windowsill or like on the wall in Doc's case, and you are able to look out over the arena.
Woohoo!
Does everyone want
We
to
did
roll
it.
me?
But that took forever.
It did. Does everyone want to roll me perception to see what you guys see?
Yes.
Sure thing.
scroll back up to the perception.
That's a 4 from Doc. It's an arena. You can hear crowds yelling. That's
Another
that's a 4 from Amy. It's Ami. It's an arena. You can hear crowds yelling. And that's an 11 from the fortune teller, thankfully. You can actually see the door opening and a couple of gladiators come piling out, yelling and waving their weapons about, and then you just see this burst of flame coming from somewhere beneath you. You can't see properly or tell exactly what it's coming from, but it's a burst of flame. It's kind of something that's a bit like a someone sighing, and all the crowds just go Rah! I will also note the crowds are all very, very poorly drawn. They're all like more smudges of color as opposed to actually people.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's an arena.
Yes, it is very much an arena. There's some kind of like column of like flame coming from the ground over there. As soon as the gladiators, is that what they are?
Gladiators.
I guess.
Yeah, as soon as those weirdly 3D creatures just go out of the door.
Huh.
What do you guys
So,
want to do? You're sitting there watching this happen.
are the soul thingies passing through us as we sit here?
Actually, as you say that, yeah, the gladiators that recently got incinerated, you do actually see the souls kind of rising up from the corpses and floating up towards, like, both this window and another, pretty identical looking window on the opposite side of the arena, and yeah, they kind of just, like, pass through you guys and head down to inhabit bodies and join the queue once again.
Yes.
I honestly have no idea what we're supposed to be doing here. But
Ami watches this happen for a few more minutes, and then she says, "Okay, let's just go down there, I guess."
Okay. I'm gonna stay on the wall so that I don't get hit by things.
How long does spider climb last for?
An hour.
Oh god. Yep, fair enough. Down you guys go. I will say, it is, like, it's a long enough drop that, like, roll me dexterity to see how hard you land, but unless you go rolling really low, you're not going to take any damage from this.
Okay. Dexterity.
Of course, this does not apply to Doc, who is staying on the wall. Alrighty, so with that 11 from Fortuneteller, you land, you kind of like land at a bit of an awkward angle, but you get down more or less fine. With a nat 20 equaling a 22 from Army, you basically, like, this is the point where your wings come really in handy, and you kind of just like flutter down very gently and land on your toes, and you're perfectly fine. You guys,
Nice.
yeah, you guys are now in the arena. You can watch these gladiators kind of run in and get fried. What do you want to do?
I think I landed on my ankle. Ow. Anyways.
That vacuum sound was, Ami can't fly by herself, so the vacuum is just helping her float midair.
Get a closer look at this, whatever is emitting this column of fire that's incinerating everything.
I mean, if you want to, I'm not going to stop you.
All right. Can I roll? What am I rolling? Like investigation, perception?
I would say this is investigation, as you are specifically looking where a thing is coming from. That's an 11. That is good enough that you guys can actually see this, well, Doc, and I'm guessing you will pass this on to the others as well. You can see where there is a, like, large sort of cave where these gouts of fire do seem to be coming from, and you can kind of hear, like, the shuffling and moving around and clanking of change, and another Massive sigh.
Someone down there?
Hello?
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 Oh, don't tell me it's more of you gladiator nonsense. I'm so tired of all this.
Hi, what's going on?
I'm not a gladiator. I'm a fortune teller. And I try to pull out my tarot deck from my hammer space.
Roll me a d10
With
to
a
see if you
flourish.
manage it.
Hello? Sorry, I have to do that in Ami's voice.
Oh, with a 1 on a d10, you actually have to kind of just keep rolling the d10 as you pull out, like, object after object of things that are not useful. And you need to roll above a 5 to get the thing that you want. Alright. Thankfully, you get your deck, you get your tarot deck on the second go. May I ask what you pulled out of your hammer space the first time?
Let me look at that.
It can just be a complete piece of nonsense as a tune. Like, you have utter nonsense tucked away in there.
It's a handful of sand.
Yep, that works.
And
Pocket sand.
pocket sand.
Wait a second, that's not quite right. Do it again. Ah, there's my deck.
Alright. At your voices, like, you hear this, like, voice from echoing from inside the cave. It's like, a fortune teller? Oh, now that's something interesting. And as the three of you watch, you hear boom, boom, boom of heavy footsteps, and a giant green dragon pokes its head out of the cave to come peer at you. Well, you're not gladiators, I suppose. You're not, jiggly enough. What are you doing here?
No idea.
I just want to get off this carriage and on to the next.
Oh, don't we all? Don't we all?
I'm just here for fun, and to get to the next carriage, because it might seem fun.
Well, if you need to get going, the door's over there.
Eventually. I don't like it very much here, but
It's like, if you need to get going, the door's over there, I suppose. And she raises a claw and kind of waves back to, like, where her cave is. And, like, you can just about see a very faint glowing from the inside that might be a carriage door.
Ah,
you said
Well-
that. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
you said that you wanted to get to the next carriage too. You said, "Don't we all?" Are you stuck here somehow?
The dragon steps forward, and you can actually see as, like, the last of its hind legs come out from inside the cave, and it has a massive chain around its rear leg and everything, and just kind of shakes it at you and, like, what do you think, my dear? Oh dear, I seem to have disconnected here. Hello, did anyone hear me? Heck. One moment. Hello, hello? Oh, heck, my internet went down. There is no way for me to pause the recording, sadly. And I don't feel like... Please hold. Technical difficulties. I do apologise to anyone listening to this for while I deal with this absolute nonsense. Hopefully I can... I am just filling in noise here while this goes on. Hurrah, am I back? Am I back? Hello,
Hey.
am I back? Hello,
Yay.
my
Hi.
internet
Hello.
dropped out. I'm
What
so sorry.
happened?
My internet just dropped out for a couple of seconds. I don't know what
Oh
was
my
going on.
god. Okay, so the last thing we heard was something about the last of its hind legs.
Yeah, so like what I was saying was the dragon, I completely missed when I actually dropped out, so I kept talking for a while before I noticed. But yeah, no, the dragon steps out of the cave fully, and you can see as the last of its hind legs come out from the darkness of the cave, you see these massive chains trapped, like clamped around its leg, and the dragon just looks at the three and goes, "What do you think, dearies?"
I think we should try to break those manacles.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, wait, maybe if I shrink you, your legs will just come out of the manacles. And then we don't have to break anything.
Do you want to try?
That's a good idea. Or you could win.
I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to shrink the dragon.
Okay. Question: what
This sounds like
size?
a good idea that will definitely work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Question: what size of creature can this spell be used on? Like, what's the largest size of creature?
It's. I'm pretty sure it's any. Hang on.
Yeah, because if it's any, this will have an effect, but I do just need to double check that this isn't nonsense, basically.
It doesn't say anything about the size the creature is in this little spell card I have.
You cause a creature or an object you can see within range to grow larger or smaller for the duration. Choose either a creature or an object that is neither worn nor carried. The
Nice.
target is unwilling. Constitution saving throw. The target is a creature. Everything it's wearing and carrying changes size with it.
Yeah, so do you still want to try casting it? I'm not going to stop you.
Yes.
Okay, well, this good news is the dragon is not unwilling. It's like, oh, well, this will be a new one. And you cast the spell on her, and she shrinks down until she is a size smaller. So she's now kind of like still a fair bit taller than you guys because she was pretty big before. But she's definitely, like, again, a quarter of the size of what she was. And the manacles around her leg also shrank.
I have a thing that I'd like to try, if that's all right.
Oh yes, it's been a while since we've had other passengers come through. You're always welcome to try, my dears.
I'm gonna walk over to the back of the chains, a little bit behind the dragon, and I'm gonna cast Shatter.
May you please
This
read out
is
the
not
effects?
gonna do.
Yeah, may you please read out the effects of that spell for me?
All right.
Because
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere must make a Constitution saving throw. The creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, pass mission successful. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage if it's in the spell's area.
But it's being worn.
Yeah.
It's being
I mean-
worn. We're so bad at this.
Alright, do you still want to try anyway? I'm not going to stop you from trying. I do like your attempts here.
If I move like far enough back along the chains, are those parts of the chains still being worn and carried?
You are welcome to try the spell if you want. I'm not gonna stop you from doing these things. I can't.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, I just can't tell you what's going on until you've tried your thing. Alright, so you cast Shatter. Do you make sure you're far enough away from the dragon to not hit her?
Yes, I do that, and I pull out a vial of something nasty and just throw it on the ground real hard, and it does a thing. Yeah.
Alright. A loud ringing noise echoes around the arena, and you can hear like a little bit of static whining from the announcement system that you guys had heard before. And as you look down and you have a look at the chain, and you notice that it's kind of shining silvery, but not quite on the surface of the metal, just a little bit above it, and it seems to have some sort of magical protection over it.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. Oh well.
Well,
It was
it
worth
was
a try.
worth a shot, dearie. I appreciate it nonetheless. Oh, I have been here for such a long
Wait,
time.
do I have it? Do I have this spell before I open my mouth? Yes, I do.
What have you got?
I got the spell magic. Hang on.
I mean, I guess.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of a 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spell casting ability.
Okay, I have
The
no idea.
DC for the spell would be 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay, what you're casting at level 3, so the DC would be 13. I have no idea what the magic caster did for this, but one moment, let me just try and kind of put together some maths here that might be vaguely fair on you guys while still making things difficult, because you can't free the dragon within the first hour.
We're doing our best.
You're trying, and like she's very happy that you are trying. What's your spellcasting ability?
I'm a cleric, so it's wisdom.
Yeah, no, I mean like your plus your actual proficiency bonus for it.
5.
Okay, so like in your sorry, just like mentally doing maths and everything. In that case, like because this would actually be reasonably high level spells, so okay, that's a 20. I'm sorry. You cast Dispel Magic, and you can kind of just feel it bounce off these chains because these are obviously very heavily warded. This dragon's not going anywhere. Like, again, looking at the size of what the dragon was before, got smaller, because thanks, Fortuneteller. Like, this dragon would obviously have been able to rip free of anything that, wasn't strong enough to literally contain a dragon, so...
Well...
And I suppose you've tried melting the chains, I assume. That'd be the first thing you'd try.
Oh, yes, pretty much. Thank you so much for helping anyway, dearies. I really appreciate it. But you should hurry along now. It's fine. It's fine.
There's got to be a way to fix it. It can't just be unbreakable chains. Everything's breakable.
I take my mace and try to hit the chains.
As you guys are worrying over the chains, you hear the klaxon ring out again, and you just hear 6 as the doors open and 6 gladiators pour in, and they make a beeline not towards the dragon, but towards you guys. Because they're not happy with you guys messing with your entertainment, and the fans have kind of been booing for a while now because this isn't fun, this isn't gladiatorial conquest, this isn't like getting burnt to a crisp by a dragon. Let's send some more gladiators in, and I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Well...
These are the gladiators. They get a 6 because they're slow and very, very stupid.
I'm so glad.
That is a 7 for Army and a 12 for the Fortuneteller. And 12.
I got a 20.
Thank you. Oh yeah, nice one. And I also need to roll Mildred, because that is her name.
Oh, dang it, we didn't ask her name.
Didn't ask her name. So disappointed in you guys, so impolite.
Hi, my name's Ami, what's yours?
As we enter combat. Alright. So it's like, oh, hi, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ami. I'm Mildred. Shall we get on with this then? And,
Okay.
Doc, you are up first.
All right. Well, I have seen from experience that these things are vulnerable to fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my materials and I'm going to really quickly build a robot, and I'm going to summon Tor, and Tor's going to be a fire turret.
Hurrah! I will actually note, they're not actually vulnerable to fire. It's just that, you know, getting fried by a dragon deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, I didn't mean vulnerable. I just meant they can be hurt by fire, is all I meant.
That is true. That is very true. All right, welcome, Tor.
All right. Tor is gonna breathe fire at him, so I think they need to make a dexterity, a 15-foot cone, and then, not actually, is it 15 feet? Let me just, real quick.
No problem, good idea.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot cone. They need to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, you're
against...
with a 15-foot cone, you're only going to hit 3 of them at most, because they are kind of arcing around you rather than, like, they are still all just rushing towards you, but there are some tactics here. So that was a dexterity save?
Yes, indeed.
All right, good news is they're absolutely rubbish to that. So that's 1, 2, 3, and I'm guessing none of those save.
They don't, so they get hit by my fun 1d8 fire damage. Yay.
Hurrah! Let's watch these gladiators get thrown. All right, that's 3 damage. And they're looking slightly crispy, but like otherwise they're still charging towards you guys. Next up is Fortuneteller.
Terribly sorry for not introducing myself. I am Jasper. That's definitely my name. Then I'm going to.
Pleasure to meet you too, Jasper. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look to see if there are like at least 2 gladiators within 5 feet of each other.
Yeah.
And if there is, I'm gonna hurl an acid splash at them.
Nice. They're all kind of like in an arc standing, like imagine basically for the sake of combat, they are just in a line each 5 feet apart. So you could probably hit 3 of them with this if you're careful.
Ooh, cool. I'm gonna try to be as careful as I can to try to hit 3.
Are you going after the same ones that Doc fried, or are you going after different ones?
I'll do the same ones Doc fried.
Alrighty.
I'm helping!
Roll to attack then.
That's a dexterity saving throw.
Alright.
I think.
Let me make them try and save again. That's a 10. A 15. They're going slightly better this time. They're a bit more cautious. And a 4. I'm guessing only the 15 saved?
Only the 15 saved.
Alright. How much damage?
I roll 1d6.
Alrighty, that's 1 damage, and that means the 15 is taking nothing.
It takes nothing anyways.
Yeah, alrighty.
Because if they succeed, they take nothing.
Alrighty. Next up is, it's Mildred's turn. Hurrah. Because Mildred's very used to fighting these guys. She kind of just heaves a sigh. And again. And she is going to exhale fire breath at basically all of them. Wait, in a 40 foot, that can get, yeah. Yeah, she can get basically all of them if she angles this right. And they need to make a bunch of again, I just need to keep making dex saving throws for these guys, and they're rubbish at them, so that actually saves. That saves. Number 3 does not. Number 4 does not. Number 5 does not. And number 6 does. However, make save through. That's 12d6. Okay. 12d6. I did that wrong. So that's 45 damage to that just completely wipes out all of the ones that got hit, which were 2, 3, 4. Wait, what's it? Yeah, well, it was 3, 4, and 5 just get completely fucking wiped out. You see why they you can completely see why before, like when you watch them actually get hit by the fire, they were just obliterated. And with that, Mildred's just going to kind of like, again, heave another sigh. You see why this is so dull. And passes it on to the next person in the initiative, which is Army.
Yay! I'm gonna cast Sacred Weapon. I think that's the name of it. Spiritual Weapon.
Spiritual weapon. Okay. What weapon are you summoning?
Bruh, I can't come up with anything else, so I'm just gonna make it a mace.
Fair enough.
And I'm summoning it, like, probably right above the rest of them. I think I just... Fuck. Yeah, so that's just a d20 plus my spell attack bonus.
Yep, so roll to hit.
17. Is that it?
Yeah, that definitely hits. These guys do not have a great armor class. How many can you actually hit with this? Because you've got two that are still standing next to each other and one that's on the other side.
Okay, I was planning to hit the two of them to see if I can get two in one go.
Yep, sure thing. I think with that hit, yeah. I will also note these guys are very low on health, thanks to Mildred.
Thanks, Mildred.
Roll damage.
1d8 plus my spell casting ability modifier.
And,
that's a 12.
And with that, you actually managed to wipe out the two that you were aiming for, and there is only one gladiator left, looking rather sad. And you can I will say, when you hit those two with your mace, the jiggle physics just went wild. Polygons everywhere. They got just trashed. And you can, like, just jiggle and then eventually collapse, and then the little ghosty comes out and you can watch them all float away through the window and into new bodies. There's one left.
Wow.
We need to block the window, I think. No, they can just go through things. Ugh.
It is now that one's turn. It's going to run up, and I think while it was aiming for you guys before, considering Mildred dealt the most damage, it's going to run up and try and whack Mildred with its mace. It's not going to go well. That's a 12. Does that actually hit? That's a good question. No, it does not. Okay, so it kind of just comes over and whacks Mildred on the toe with its mace and goes, oh! And Mildred just kind of like flicks the guy away and it goes pinging across the other side of the stadium. And I'm gonna, like, I know the combat was not that exciting because you just had a dragon wipe out everyone, but Mildred kind of just turns to you and says, "This has been my life for the past, well, I'm not quite sure how long, to be quite honest, but you can see why it gets rather dull after a while, can't you?" And we're dropping out of initiative for now.
Yes. Wait, what if? And I go over to the chains and I cast Acid Splash on the chains.
God.
It have magic resistance, so much the same as when Doc threw a potion of shatter on the chains. You can kind of see the acid splashing around the chains, like there's a little like invisible force field on it.
I take my mace and hit. I take my mace and hit it.
Oh, sadly that isn't going to work, lovies. The only thing that's going to work is if you get the key.
Key?
Key? There's a key?
Oh yes, like whoever wins the fight against me gets the grand prize to all the treasures, and that involves, the key to open the treasure chest. It just so happens to also be the key to this.
I got an idea! What if we pretend to defeat you?
Well, I will say that is a bit of a novel idea. No one's quite mentioned it before. They're usually in a hurry to get out of here. No one's really stopped for a chat, seeing as I'm, yes, I'm this. But I reckon it could be good to dust off my old acting skills.
All right. Oh man, I wish that guy I met was here. He would. Oh well.
Mhm. That seems like quite a great idea. Let's try.
Should I roll like something?
So, how do we do this? And I will actually start off with, I do need everybody to roll me performance, just to see how good a fight this is gonna be. And then I think we're gonna kind of go into, like, pseudo-combat.
Yeah, can I use deception?
Come on, Ami,
no.
you were an entertainer.
No, this is sadly specifically performance, because you're putting on a performance for the crowd here. That's an 8, a 9, and the Fortuneteller's the only one going well with a 21 here. Let me quickly roll Mildred. Can someone please remind me what performance is? It's charisma one, isn't it? So that's a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's charisma.
And Mildred rolled a 12, so Mildred's acting is passable, but she's a bit melodramatic. Alright. So, considering that the fortune teller got the highest roll here, do you want to take the lead for this big dramatic faux fight?
So I'm gonna run out into the middle of the arena and then let's see. What spells do I have to cast that would be Okay, I'm going to cast Ray of Frost and try to make it look like I'm aiming at her, but I'm aiming at like the wall.
Alright, roll me an attack roll against the wall, because it's like, if you miss the wall, you are gonna hit someone, especially as you've got, like, the 2 other passengers.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's a 12. You do manage to hit the wall, thankfully, and you don't hit anybody else. So, you blast your Ray of Frost. Do you do anything else? Do you say anything? How dramatic are you being?
While I'm blasting the Ray of Frost, I move my hand forward and go, "Wah!"
And the crowd
and do a little
roars.
swirl.
The crowd roars. It hasn't seen a magic battle like this in ages. This is new. This is exciting. Yay! Mildred, who is next in line, goes like, "Oh, yes, this is how we're doing it? All right." Quickly kind of like falls to the side and goes like, "Oh no, how terrible." And reaches out to try and take a swipe with you with her claws, and she is trying to miss, but also with how dramatic she's being, there's every possibility that she could miss missing.
Mm-hmm.
Considering she got a 23, she manages to just graze past you. Like you can actually feel the air, you can feel like the wind blowing past you as her claws almost graze you, but you are safe. And Mildred is going, "Oh no, how atrocious." And who wants to make the next dramatic move?
I'm gonna whisper quickly to Mildred. I'm gonna say, "Hey, are you cool with fire? Like, you're like a fire-breathing dragon. Like, fire doesn't do much to you, right?"
Oh yes, dearie,
Or is
don't
that-
worry. No harm to me at all.
Cool. Tor, incinerate this fiend. And I'm gonna have Tor breathe fire on Mildred.
Alright, amazing. That's alright. I will say, can you make like a performance roll for Tor? Because your performance roll was atrocious. I want to see if Tor gets a better one.
Okay, let me see. I think Tor has a 10 in every stat. Yes, okay.
It's just a straight d20 then.
Yes. I still want this to be a high roll. It would be really fun.
Please.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, sadly, Tor takes after your acting abilities and did not manage to go very well. So just kind of goes like, beep, and just blasts fire right over Mildred. And Mildred is kind of lying there going, "Oh, oh," making dramatic noises as she kind of rolls about a little bit. But the crowds kind of watch this and go, they're not too excited by it. Army, what have you got planned?
More? I've got, that's just a bonus action. Can I take my action?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Still, you resist us. Take this, and I'm gonna shoot my crossbow. Doc is just acting horribly, but she doesn't know that.
Oh dear. Are you aiming to miss, or are you actually aiming at her?
I am aiming to miss. So I'm gonna take that shot and
12, okay.
also that shot. I'm gonna take 2 shots. Yay!
Okay, thankfully, that is enough that you just miss, and like the arrows land in the sand of the arena, like right next to her, and she almost kind of like half scoops them up. So you know that whole thing of like holding a weapon been like under your arm to make it look like you've been hit in the chest. She's kind of doing that with these teensy little arrows. It's like, oh,
So
That'd be
glad.
The crossbows are technically like made out of magic and vanish also pretty soon. So
oh, she like quickly drops them and was like, oh yes, like brushes herself off. Oh yes. The crowd is a little bit more impressed by this, but I will say the crowd is more impressed by Mildred's overacting than with your attack, sadly. Army, what did you have in mind?
Okay, I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy. Is that the right one to make myself, like, louder?
I think, let me double check, but yeah, I think that is.
Yeah, you can use thaumaturgy to make yourself louder, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm looking at you can, your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal, so yeah, go ahead.
And I yell in the least threatening voice possible, "Backy, beast!" And
oh god.
And I am going to aim to miss with Sacred Flame.
Okay. I will say, with you kind of yelling in the very non-threatening voice, the crowd is going to boo you because, like, again, you didn't roll very well with your performance, so they're just like, boo! Again, the crowd is kind of a bunch of badly drawn smudges more than actual people, but they're definitely booing.
There's a lot of ghosts in here.
Alright. Do you need to roll attack for Sacred Flame?
Yeah. I'm aiming to miss.
Yeah.
But either way, she's resistant, right?
I don't think Sacred Flame is actually flame damage, is it?
it's radiant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
fuck. Yeah, then I'm aiming to miss.
yeah, please miss. With a 21, you definitely miss. In fact, what you actually managed to do is get it to hit not Mildred, but like the air just above Mildred. So you see like this crackling radiant fire floating in the air just above Mildred. And you can see she's actually like, Mildred's kind of freezes for a second as she sees this happening because, oh dear, that could actually hurt me. But then realizes, oh wait, no, need to put back on the act. Oh no, as she's lying there on the ground rolling about with all these attacks going on here, there, and everywhere. Who wants to go next? This is absolutely go if you have an idea.
Let's see.
Doc wants to do something ridiculous and dangerous.
Please do.
Oh no.
Please do.
Doc is going to scurry up the walls of this place, try and get to the ceiling, and then take the clock hand she got and just drop down on Mildred and pretend to stab her head.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll acrobatics for this, just to see how well you pull this off.
All right.
But this is very cool, and I'm giving you a point of inspiration for this as well, because that's a pretty awesome move.
Can I just spend the point of inspiration to make this go well?
Yeah, you know what, go ahead. This goes off perfectly without a hitch. You scurry right up the wall, you scurry on top of like the weird cage-like netting that's over the top of the arena. You've got the audience going, ooh, as you go past, because like, okay, you may not have rolled a high performance, but this is still a really cool move. They're going, ooh, ooh, as you run past, you get right up to the top. You like lift your legs off the cage ceiling, and you drop right down. Mildred looks up at you, going like, "Wait, what's going on?" and sees you as you stab the dagger right into the sand right next to her belly, and just goes like, "Oh no, how terrible!"
From Hex Heart, I stab at thee.
What? Sorry.
From Hex Heart, I stab at thee.
Oh my god. Amazing. I think, Mildred is going to try and pull something out of her hammer space. Alright, with the force she got just high enough, she pulls out like some red ribbons from her hammer space, and as she's kind of clutching at her belly, she's got one claw clutching at her belly, another one just like throwing these red ribbons into the air, as she spurts blood everywhere. It's like, oh no, how terrible. Anyone else want to do one final blast move?
I have prestidigitation. I do not.
I am going to take my quarterstaff. I'm gonna cast light on the top of it and be like, I cast. I'm trying to think of a spell. Smite, and just slam my staff on the ground and pretend that I actually did.
Okay, I think give me another. This is either deception or performance. Your choice as to which one you roll here, just to see how well you manage to like pull this off.
I'm gonna go with deception.
Yeah.
Check. Yeah.
That is a dirty 20, so this goes off without a hitch. You give the crowds roaring in approval, yeah! As the light shines at the top of your staff and it casts its light out over the whole arena, almost blinding for a second. And Mildred takes her cue and goes like, oh yes, and throws an arm across her forehead and just flops backward, tongue lolling. Bleh. And she is dead. The crowd is roaring its approval. This is the best fight it's seen in eons. Yeah. And as you guys watch, this shining golden key just starts like descending down into the center of the arena. And it is there, like it stops in midair, just hovering around head height, and it is there for any of you guys to grab if you want it.
I'm gonna snatch it out of the air.
Hell yeah. You guys now have the key to the treasure chest if you so want it. The treasure chest is inside Mildred's cave where she pointed before. But what do you guys want to do? Anything else or say anything else as you go about this?
Can we free Mildred?
Yes, you can. I will say, it is your choice whether you free Mildred or open the chest. You can't do
Free
both.
Mildred.
Free Mildred.
I'm gonna run over and saying, yes, we have one, and go to the chains and free Mildred.
Alright, as you place the key in the lock, as the chain, you don't even have to turn before the chain just goes chink, 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 and starts falling apart, just basically dissolving into nothing along with the key. And as all the chains come off, Mildred kind of just like, you can see her kind of like freeze for a second. She's still pretending to be dead, but you see her like, her toes wiggle a little bit. She moves her ankle, and then she sits up and like grabs onto her leg, and it's like, yes, I'm free. Thank you so much, dearies. I very much appreciate. Oh yes, now for you. And she just turns to where the audience is, and she starts stomping forward and like lifts up like one giant claw and rips down the cage from outside. Does anyone want to stop her or do anything here?
Nope. Time to go to the next room.
Yeah, does the audience seem like sentient to me?
You can hear some screams, but again, like when you look at them, it's just kind of like brightly colored blobs moving about, rather than like specifically people.
Yeah, and these people were watching her get like basically tortured here for ages. I don't feel a lot of sympathy towards them. I don't know. It seemed like they suck.
And you guys watch for a moment as Mildred, this lovely old green dragon, goes on a rampage and just fire breaths.
Did we lose Kai again?
Just all
No, I can
over.
hear Kai.
Hello? Hello? Can you still
I
hear me?
can hear Kai.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Kai.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, you guys just watch as Mildred breathes fire all over the audience, and by the time she's done, like, this whole arena is just a blackened and charred mess, and she's, like, picked up a piece of rubble from where her tail knocked into anything, and specifically placed those over the doors that the gladiators kept entering in before, and she looks very, very happy about this, and was like, I've been wanting to do that for years now. Thank you very much, dearies, for freeing me. I so appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, no
Someday I'll be able to make
problem.
that much fire. Someday.
One day. Well, if we ever do meet again, I would be happy to try and give you lessons, my dear. And Mildred kind of like stalks past you and wanders back into her cave, and you can see the light that you guys spotted before glow a lot brighter for a second from these doors clicking open, and you just hear this one final "ta-ta, dearies," as Mildred goes through the door and passes on to her next carriage that she's been stuck in this carriage for years and years now, well, in her time, and now she gets to finally pass on to the next. And you guys are left alone in this blackened and smoking arena. What do you guys want to do?
So long, Mildred!
Wait, is the key gone entirely?
The key is sadly gone entirely. It dissolved as the chains dissolved.
Yes.
You guys, like,
I pick up the chest.
yeah, I was completely expecting that. You can pick up the chest. You can't get it open just yet. Actually, no, it depends. What else? What other spells do you have left? What else do you want to try?
Can I try and just make the lock normal?
Roll me lockpicking then. Like, roll me. See how well you go.
I'm good at this.
That's a 26. With that, you guys don't even need the fancy magic key. The lock just clicks open because the fact is, they put all these magical restraints and everything on the chains to hold the dragon there because they didn't want to risk the dragon getting loose and, doing exactly what it did. However, they kind of figured that no one would be getting to this fancy treasure chest without having to go through the dragon first, so they didn't bother putting spells on it. So you fiddle about with it for all of 3 seconds before click, and the box springs open.
Woo!
Yeehaw, what's inside?
What is inside is something I will actually pass on to you guys after the game because, like, just so I can write things up easier. But basically there is a bunch, like, there's a lot of golden treasure in there. There's like some fancy looking magical seeming items. I will write you guys up something like specifically suited to your characters afterwards. But like, otherwise, go nuts.
Woohoo!
I will ask, is there anything in particular that your characters would specifically want to find in this treasure chest?
Maybe something to make me fly.
Ami voice.
Sorry?
Ami voice, maybe something to make me fly. I think we all just want to fly, huh?
Yeah.
Besides that, maybe a really nice bag for his tarot deck.
So it doesn't get lost in hammer space anymore? Might be an idea.
Yes.
Alright. Doc, did you have anything that you specifically wanted?
Doc? Aside from just, like, vaguely mechanical things that she can play with because she's really running out of mechanical components, so she's getting sad about that. Not really.
Fair enough. I think I can come up with something for that, so don't worry. Because I will say this treasure chest was a little bit magical in terms of it would give like the right prize to whoever opened it, and as you three managed to open it, you guys all find something that you specifically want. But other than that, there's nothing else really left to do other than the giant glowing door at the end of the cave.
So, next carriage then? Want to
Yeah.
go through together?
Sure.
Yeah. See you guys around, hopefully.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with you guys.
That was quite a lot of fun. Next time I should tell your guys' fortunes. It'd be interesting to see what the future holds.
Oh, please.
I don't really want to know. I kind of want to figure it out myself, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I feel like we're talking as we're walking through the door.
Yes.
Oh.
Definitely.
Oh, and as you all walk through, the light flares and you get teleported off to your next carriages. And that's the end of this session. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for, like, I know it was specifically a shorter session because I threw it together in, like, one day. But thank you for coming and playing it.
Thank you for running it.
A lot
That
of
was a lot of fun.
With any luck, you will be seeing Mildred again. I'm not sure when, where, or why, but hopefully she will be around again.
We'll meet again.
Don't make me sad.
Hopefully we'll be able to play again.
Hopefully. Oh, this was a delight playing with all you guys, though, I gotta say. But alright, I'm gonna stop the recording here. Everybody say bye.
Sayonara, so long, goodbye.
Bye!